It is music's biggest night. We're talking about the Grammys tonight, and to help us pick some of the possible winners, we've got Mo from US 101. Thank you so much for being with us, Melissa.
Glad to be a part of it. I love talking music.
I know you do. We're going to get right into it. We're going to start off with the big category of Best Country Song. Let's look at who the nominees are. First of all, we have for Best Country Song, Blown Away by Carrie Underwood, Cost of Living by Ronnie Dunn. Of course, he's no longer with Brooks and Dunn. He's solo now. Even If It Breaks Your Heart by the Eli Young Band. So You Don't Have to Love Me Anymore by Alan Jackson. And Springsteen, I guess that song's about Bruce Springsteen, by Eric Church. So what do you think, Mo?
When it comes to those songs, if you're going to base it on radio airplay, music sales, I'm going to have to go with Eric Church on this one. That Springsteen song was a huge hit for the summer. But of course, Carrie Underwood, with her Blown Away, that of course also was another #1 song on country radio. So for me, it's a toss-up of either one of those, but the Grammy is known to pick something that I always never pick. So
it's hard to say, right?
So who's not to say I'll be wrong with that one?
Well, that's interesting, too. You see Alan Jackson and Ronnie Dunn. Now, these are people that probably don't even get a lot of play on US 101 anymore, do they?
Now, we did play, both of those songs did play on US 101, and they're both iconic in the country music format. Those songs particularly, though, for the year, I could probably name a couple other songs that might have beat them in that category. But, again, legends of country music, so can't blame them for being in the category.
Do the Grammy voters sometimes like it when you see the legends in there, maybe?
I think so, that, or they're just not really that up-to-date on what's going on with
who's
country
going on
music.
there, exactly.
For example, Best Country Album.
There we go. Let's move right on to the Best Country Album. We've got the Zac Brown Band with Uncaged, Hunter Hayes with Hunter Hayes, Jamie Johnson with Livin' for a Song, and Miranda Lambert with For the Record, and the Time Jumpers, which both of us agree we don't know who the Time Jumpers are.
I have never heard of the Time Jumpers. And
that sounds like it should be in the pop category anyway. I don't know.
You would think so, and I've been in country radio for, what, 8 years now, and I have never once heard a single song of theirs, so it's interesting to me that they got Best Country Album. I would have put Eric Church's Chief on the Best Country Album list, but based on this list, Miranda Lambert's For the Record, or I think Hunter Hayes, he's a Grammy favorite right now. Of course, he's the most nominated in the country format, Hunter Hayes is. He's also nominated for Best New Artist of the Year, which is an all-genre category, which I'm so excited to see. To me, Hunter Hayes is the Justin Bieber of country music.
There you go, the Justin Bieber of country music. You know what's interesting to me is that I know that you obviously follow country music, you work at US 101, but sometimes it seems like some of the artists that are called quote-unquote country are more like pop artists to me. Do you think that's true?
I can agree with that. If you take somebody like Taylor Swift.
Exactly.
She has actually working singles right now in both formats of music, CHR, along with the country music format. And if you listen to her album, Red, it's got a little more pop in it than it does country, but
and for example, Record of the Year, we are never, ever getting back together. I guess everybody has made fun of that song, but it's labeled in the Record of the Year category, but not in the country category. So what do you think about that? Does she have a chance of winning, do you think?
I think the only reason why, you know, people, there's a love-hate with Taylor Swift.
Sure.
You either love her or you hate her, but if you look at the records that she has broken with her music on album sales, single sales, that song has sold the most of the year, probably. And I mean, I don't, you know, it might not be my favorite song, but somebody's buying her album. Somebody's playing that music on the radio because they want to hear it.
I think my daughters are buying that album.
There you
go.
The
Tween Girls, and that's what a lot of her songs get to.
It's her target.
And she's not really necessarily the best role model for tween girls because she seems to go through a revolving door of boyfriends. But that's really not what we're talking about here with the Grammys. It has nothing to do with the Grammys, does it?
Although I'm pretty sure the Grammys will find some jab at her because I feel like the last few, you know, country music awards or...
She got no love there, did she?
No, even on, was it the Oscars that was recently, or I can't remember which one it was, but everybody's pulling jabs on her about something to do with her relationship. So, poor girl. That's what happens when you're in the public eye.
It's fair game. Now, would you say that Taylor Swift is a country artist, or would you say she's a kind of a crossover artist?
She's definitely a crossover. She started in country music, but I mean, her entire career has been crossover. There might be a song that was huge on the country format, but you eventually end up hearing it on CHR as well. So she's no doubt a crossover, which I think is great because she has brought a lot of people to the country format. Because of her music, we've gained a few more listeners, so we're appreciative of that.
Kind of like Blake Shelton that way. There you go.
That's right.
And we'll be right back with more in just a minute. We'll see if her picks work out. We'll see you next week.